Dude, did you see what happened with the guy who tried slashing the brake lines of the NYPD?
No.
I think it was July 16th or 17th. Some Antifa guy. Actually, no, let's go back in time a little bit more. It was like July 12th or something. Some Antifa guy was talking to another person and said they wanted to hurt police and hurt the pro-police people and stuff like that. And so it turns out the guy he's talking to was a paid informant for the NYPD.
Oh.
Now, what we don't know is whether or not the informant became an informant once he was told these things or was always an informant. It could be that this Antifa guy, Black Lives Matter guy, was talking to a regular person who panicked and then called NYPD and said, yo, this guy's nuts. So this guy says he was trying to plot, he was casing the Verrazano Bridge, which for those that don't know, the Verrazano connects Brooklyn to Staten Island. And it is I believe it's the largest suspension bridge in the country. Huge. I was reading about it.
It's a huge bridge.
They were casing it. I don't know what his plan was, but he said he wanted to disable it so that white supremacists couldn't use it to get, out of Staten Island into Brooklyn or something like that. Into Brooklyn. So what ends up happening is
disable. He
goes with this guy. This is a crazy story. He goes with this guy and they start casing around New York trying to find vehicles from the NYPD. Finally, they find a van. He allegedly gets out and tries cutting the brake lines. He apparently cut an anti-lock brake sensor, but the NYPD was surveilling him the whole time and they got footage of it. This is what they alleged.
Whoa.
So knowing what's been going on across the country, what do you think happened to this guy when he was arrested for this?
Well, he was released right away.
Immediately without bail.
Not surprising
so
at all.
The feds did?
Arrested him immediately. Good.
Yes. Well, okay, no. Immediately is
whatever.
Exaggerated.
They got him though.
The feds came in a couple weeks later, which was just the other day, and arrested him. And this is crazy to me because I was covering this earlier and I read through the affidavit from the FBI. The FBI, is my understanding, and I could be wrong, gets involved when something is interstate. They're federal jurisdiction. If you're in a state and you commit a crime, it's the state's jurisdiction, not the federal government's.
Right. If
you're going between states, that's when the feds come in. It's a brilliant system. So what did this guy do that warranted federal involvement?
Oh boy.
Nothing.
That's a good point.
You know what the Fed said?
What?
The NYPD engages in interstate commerce and uses their vehicles to do such.
Really?
That's it.
What?
So wait, but how would they arrest him for that though? Because
they were arresting the feds. I could be wrong about this, and that's the thing. I'm not going to pretend like I know everything about.
Well, this is conspiratorial hour.
Listen.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I love
Listen, the FBI affidavit said we arrested him. Here's why we arrested him. Here's a picture of the evidence. Here's what he did.
Okay.
And then the last paragraph says the NYPD uses these vehicles for interstate commerce. And I'm like, okay, wait, hold on. This guy was informed upon by an NYPD informant, arrested by New York City for crime in New York against the NYPD. Why is the FBI getting involved? And the affidavit, the guy's apparently facing like 20 years. I don't know, man, but I'll tell you this. The NYPD, it's not the NYPD that released him. It was a judge that cut him loose.
Yeah, it's always the judges that are letting him out.
With like no bail, apparently. Just like, you're free to go, sir. So the feds came and detained him and said, you're not going anywhere until trial.
I bet the police are pissed about it.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones arresting him, but then the judges are the ones that let them all out.
This is what's crazy to me about what's going on right now.
Yeah.
So now that we're in the weird conspiracy-minded space in Portland, how did these people keep getting out of jail? The courts can't indict them. The grand juries won't indict them. And the judges, like in New York, cutting them loose.
Yep.
How do you have a guy who tries to cut a brake line for the NYPD?
Yeah, it's
You're
insane.
free to go, sir. No bail required. You're not a threat to anybody.
We just watched you do it.
The dude was casing the Verrazano Bridge, allegedly.
Holy cow.
This is all allegedly. And they're like, the next day, you're free to go. So the feds got involved. And this is what's crazy to me. This says to me that Bill Barr is dropping the hammer and he's not playing games.
Hear, hear.
So the FBI arrests this guy and says, well, these vehicles are used for interstate commerce. Therefore, it's our jurisdiction. It's like, huh. Now, maybe they could get involved. Maybe that's my misunderstanding, but it didn't justify any other way. It seemed weirdly like it was trying to. My understanding is maybe I could be wrong. I don't know. Why would the FBI be getting involved in state level matters? I thought it was going to say something like this dude traveled from out of state into New York. It didn't. Just the vehicles are used for these things. Therefore, that's why I'm saying,
interstate commerce, though. I'm still thinking about that. Like, what would the NYPD be doing if they have proof that the NYPD has used that van for interstate commerce.
No, like, the vehicles in general.
Just
like
in general.
That's why I'm saying, like, this to me.
How does that make sense?
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
What makes more sense is that the FBI and the DOJ are taking it seriously.
Yeah.
These are violent extremists. They're terrorists trying to cut the brake lines. That could have killed 9 police officers who would be in the van.
And what is allegedly casing the Verrazano Bridge, like, what is that? They're going to blow it up? What are they going to...
I don't know.
It's a suspension bridge, so if they hit the right cables, the whole thing could crumble down. Like, that can kill thousands of people. I'm sure millions of people go over that bridge every day.
These are crazy people.
It's crazy.
To be fair, I do want to stress, I'm very much a fan of innocent until proven guilty. So,
when they were surveilling him and watching him cut the brake lines,
it's still their allegations. Like,
okay,
you show me a video of the guy doing it, and that's a different story.
Sure.
Even then, I'll be like, is it the same guy? There's a photo, you can't tell it's him. They show a photo of a guy under the van, and they're making these accusations against him. Here's the thing, man. Look.
So what we've seen,
I'm not going to say the guy's name.
The photo that they've given to the public of him under the van.
It's actually the FBI affidavit.
Oh,
so
okay.
It was submitted to the judge, but it's public record, so you can see the photo of the guy under the van.
Wow, okay.
And they're saying it's him. There was one of those wall of moms. So the other day, it was a riot in Portland. And of course the Democrats and these leftists on Twitter are lying every single day nonstop, saying, now that the feds are gone, everything's peaceful.
Yeah,
it's
right.
not been true one time.
Yeah, they just switched from the courthouse to now the East Precinct, and they're trying to burn that down now.
And residential neighborhoods.
And residential areas,
And the moms, one of them got arrested for felony rioting and was released right away.
Yeah, and there's a video of one of those moms that just, like, trying to rile up the crowd, like, we're here to F stuff up. We're here to F stuff up. We're here to F stuff up. Like, just like, what? You're wearing the mom shirt. Like, you're for peace, aren't
Propaganda.
you? No, you're not. They want to F
Lies.
stuff up. That's what they're about.
Andy No called it.
Andy No.
When the moms first appeared and their arms were linking together and they were like, but we're just mothers. Andy said, I recognize many of these women. They're Antifa. They're lying.
Yep.
It's propaganda. Sure enough, now that the riots are continuing, they're actually overtly engaged in the riots wearing the yellow shirts.
Yep.
You know what really, really, really got me angry today?
Ooh, really, really, really angry.
Really, really.
Wow.
And I was reading about Night 70 of the ongoing riots in Portland, and the article from Oregon Live had 16 instances of the word protester, and I believe 2 instances of the word demonstrators.
Wow.
In an article titled Police Declare Riot. And I'm like,
where are the rioters?
Stop. Just say it. There is a weird, like, cognitive dissonance going on in the narrative of the far left riots and extremism.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I can tell their fingers are probably like shaking as they type the word protester and their eyes are twitching from, it's like, it's not true, but I have to say it.
Yeah.
Protester.
They're not protesting anything right now.
No, they're just trying to burn stuff down.
Yeah, they're straight up simply rioters, period. No confusion. The protesters left. They don't have their shield anymore. You see who they're. It's all just Antifa burning stuff. Rioters.
I wonder why they backed off the courthouse, because the feds did not leave. There's a video where the feds are walking around sweeping up trash, and the left is screaming at them.
Yeah.
And the feds are just sweeping up trash. That for some reason, the far leftists, Antifa, stopped throwing the explosives. Now, it was initially reported that other protesters stopped them. That says to me they wanted the opening for the propaganda.
Yep.
Once it was announced by the Democrats, by Kate Brown, that the feds were withdrawing, even though it's not true and they're still there, all of a sudden the protesters stopped Antifa from throwing explosives. Then when there was no fighting, they said, oh, look, now there's no fighting. You see, it was Trump's fault. Meanwhile, that same day, when they claimed there was no fighting, there was a bunch of far leftists rioting through residential neighborhoods 100 miles south in Springfield, Oregon.
Wow.
And then since then, as they've been saying, see, the federal courthouse is all peaceful now. It was Trump's fault. The feds are still there. They didn't leave.
I know. They're all still there.
Now Antifa's going to residential neighborhoods. They went to some woman's house and they physically attacked her on her property. Now, mind you, like we mentioned, this lady was acting a fool. She was wearing a Nazi armband.
Yeah.
But you don't go to someone's property and attack them on their property. They were screaming at her, take it off, and it's like, yo, bro, she's in her own house.
They were blasting her with those lasers.
They were trying to permanently maim her.
Yep.
People don't realize it, man, and this lady didn't realize it. The green lasers they use will permanently blind you.
Yep.
I am not exaggerating. It's not a joke. They will hold it in your face, and if you look at it, you could be blind for the rest of your life. There's a tool that they use, and they've used for a long time, called the Dazzler. This is used by law enforcement. It's used in the Middle East, and it's a powerful green laser. They point it at your face, and they click it and blast you, and it makes you blind for about 30 seconds. So the easiest way to explain it is like if you've ever looked at a light directly and then you get those spots, imagine that covered your entire field of vision.
Forever.
Just wiping out your ability to see, just frying your lenses or whatever, how it works.
It's crazy.
So we use these, they're weapons. And they were doing it to this woman because they didn't like that she was wearing an offensive garment.
Honestly, I don't like it either.
Exactly. I'd have no problem, swearing at her or something. You know what I mean? I'd be like, get out. Like, you know what, man? The problem with a lot of these people that think they can wear this to antagonize is they look, they're not doing what they think they're doing.
Right.
They're just looking like idiots. So, but you know what? I mind my own business. Am I going to walk up to somebody's house and swear at them? No, I'm not going to do it. If I saw somebody in public, I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to stay away from that kind of person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go do your thing. You get away from me. You want to start trouble with me, you'll find trouble, but I'm going to mind my own business. For them to go to somebody's house, here's what's important about this in terms of escalation. It was never going to be something, ridiculous like Antifa shows up at someone's house, knocks on the door and says, we couldn't help but notice the wind chimes. Yeah, well, wind chimes actually come from this country, so prove. It wasn't going to be ridiculous. It's going to be incremented. So now they're going to say we're justified in doing it because of what she was wearing. Now that the media has not, where are the headlines? Where's CNN? Where's any of these outlets to be like, yo, don't go to people's houses? Nowhere.
Well, they don't want anyone knowing that Antifa actually exists. That's what
Oh,
they've been.
yeah,
That's
for
what they've
sure.
been telling
Right. Let alone
everyone.
go to people's
They can't.
houses.
They can't now switch their tune because then it'll prove that they've been wrong for the past 2 months. So they can't switch.
And now that Antifa knows, they can go to someone's house and nothing will be said about them negative.
That's a good point.
Now
That's
they
scary.
now they can go to anybody's house. See, if the media called them out there, they would have defended themselves and said, well, we wouldn't, but like, look what she was doing. Now that the media said nothing, it's like, carte blanche. Go for it. Go to somebody's house.
Yeah.
They went to Andy No's house.
Did they?
Yeah, a while ago. And they've been threatening and intimidating him. They physically attacked him in the street.
Yeah.
And look, they've been to Tucker Carlson's house. They've been to Cassandra Fairbanks' house. They went to the politicians' homes. This is terrorism, dude.
I'm sure they don't like us.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, but I think I keep a lot of it to ideas. We both do.
Yeah.
We're either talking about the highest level or the general concept.
True.
When you start talking, you name one of these people, and they'll come to your house. And that's the thing about Andy.
Yeah, he does call each and every one of them out.
Andy does. So whenever these people get arrested, their information is public.
Yep.
So Andy reports on who the people are, what they're doing. For this, they've made up insane fake news about him, and they go after him. They go to his house, they attack him and stuff like that. So, but definitely, they don't like what we're doing. That's
Nope.
for sure.
Definitely not.
They love it when the media lies. What was it, that video they put out where they were like, stop filming us and posting videos because we're getting arrested?
Yep, they were basically just begging people to please stop filming us doing what we're doing because people are finding us through those videos and arresting us. And all I can think is just like, good
Bro,
riddance.
did you-
Keep filming? People are gonna film it because they want the clicks. Sorry, that's kind of what the society is now. People want to get those views, they want to get the shares, and you're the star of the show, and we're all watching you like you're the spoiled little brat that you are. And you're getting arrested because you're rioting, not protesting anymore. You're rioting.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify, and we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode.